Most believers will spend their entire life talking to a God they claim can speak, and never once learn to recognize His voice when He does. And that one gap, the gap between praying and actually hearing, is costing them the direction, the clarity, and the intimacy with God that prayer was always designed to produce. John 10:27, Jesus said it plainly. "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." He did not say they might hear it. He said they hear it. Hearing God is not a gift reserved for prophets and pastors. It is the normal experience of a believer in genuine relationship with Him. So if you have been struggling to tell whether a thought came from God or from yourself, the problem is not that God stopped speaking. The problem is discernment. And discernment is something you can learn. Every thought you receive comes from one of three sources: your own flesh, the enemy, or God. And learning to distinguish between them is not complicated, but it requires knowing the character of each one. 1. The voice of your flesh. Your flesh speaks fast, impulsive, and always in the direction of comfort. It says, "Do it now, you deserve it, nothing will happen, God understands." It avoids sacrifice, avoids obedience, and always finds a reason why the harder path isn't necessary. Matthew 26:41. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Your flesh is not neutral, it has an agenda. And it will dress that agenda in spiritual language if it has to. If a thought is pushing you toward what is easy and away from what God already told you to do, that is flesh. 2. The voice of the enemy. The enemy is subtle. He does not always show up as obvious temptation. More often he shows up as accusation, as hopelessness, as the voice that says you've already failed too much. God doesn't want to use you anymore. You're too far gone. He plants doubt about God's character and about your identity. Genesis 3:1. Did God really say? That question has not changed in thousands of years. If a voice is accusing you, isolating you, filling you with shame that makes you want to run from God rather than toward Him, that is not your Father. That is an accuser. 3. The voice of God. God's voice has 3 consistent marks that the other 2 cannot replicate. First, it aligns with Scripture. God will never tell you anything that contradicts what He has already written. His Word is the filter. If a thought contradicts the Bible, no matter how spiritual it feels, it is not God. Second, it brings peace in the middle of the uncertainty, not comfort, not the removal of challenge, but a deep anchored clarity. Philippians 4:7. The peace of God that passes understanding will guard your heart and mind. Third, it draws you closer to Him. God's voice always leads toward Him, toward holiness, toward obedience, toward relationship. It never leads you toward isolation, pride, or away from what He has already said. Here is the practical test. When a thought comes, run it through these 4 questions. Does it contradict the Bible? If yes, not God. Does it produce fear, shame, or hopelessness? If yes, not God. Does it rush you into a decision before you can pray about it? If yes, not God. Does it lead you toward obedience, toward people, toward Him? Then it may well be His voice. Sit with it, pray over it, and let it be confirmed by the Word and by the peace that settles in your spirit when you hold it up to God. The more you know God, the more time you spend in His Word, in prayer, in genuine relationship with Him, the more naturally you recognize His voice. You cannot recognize a voice you have never consistently listened to. Intimacy precedes discernment, and discernment follows intimacy as surely as fruit follows a healthy root. You were not designed to guess your way through life wondering if God is speaking. You were designed to hear Him, clearly, consistently, with a growing confidence that comes from a relationship that deepens every day. Start building that relationship in the Word and in prayer, and the voice that was always there will become unmistakable. Isaiah 30:21. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you, saying, "This is the way, walk in it." If this gave you clarity about the voice you have been hearing, and you are willing to recognize God's voice, write this in the comment. God, teach me to recognize your voice. And if this message spoke to your heart, subscribe to Sacred Word Daily. I will see you in the next video.